Welcome to the Real Estate 401k Show. Here are your hosts, Ryan Gertis, Mike Weinstein, and Justin Frederick, helping you build a legacy of wealth through real estate. Powered by the Real Estate 401k Group at West USA and the Frederick team with Fairway Mortgage and MLS number 625918.
Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k Show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside my partner, Ryan Gertis. If you are a school teacher or an aspiring school teacher, you're going to want to text the word TEACH to 623-AZ-RECON. That's TEACH to 623-AZ-RECON, because we're going to give you some incredible money-making ideas, ways to financially stay in the industry that you love, follow your passion of teaching young minds. And Ryan, as you know, I got a really soft spot for teachers. They're truly the unsung heroes. They don't need any awards. They just need more money. They need to get paid.
And they need people to get the hell out of their way.
They need parents to get the hell out of their way.
Yeah.
I have friends that are teachers, and just what the parents put them through is, listen, your kid is not perfect.
Yeah.
There's a good chance your kid's a monster.
You know what? And teachers have bad days too. They're all human. Now, there are some bad ones out there.
Sure.
I mean, for sure.
I would be a bad one.
I would be a terrible one, you know? But the moral of the story is they're getting up every single day early in the morning and preparing their classroom, preparing their syllabus. And then they're doing like when you're a parent and your kid, and you just couldn't wait until your kids were old enough to go to school, so that you didn't have to pay for daycare, or that you didn't have to worry about this or that, or that you could kind of have your own life and whatnot. They're the ones taking the brunt of that, and I think we very quickly forget that once they're kind of at school age, and then the other thing that just like I'm looking at it and I see bad schools and I see good schools, and the common denominator is their parents. Like I've seen some terrible schools put out some brilliant kids because they have that support system at home, and I've seen some great schools put out some terrible kids because they have shithead parents, and they don't care. They just sent them off because that's their problem now, and it's like. So all that being said, it all funnels towards the teachers, and so I have a soft spot for them too. I mean, I married one. So.
You married one. I am a product of a teaching family. My mom taught kindergarten for 39 years in the Los Angeles Unified School District, where she was, in my opinion, and she would agree with me, compensated fairly, and her pension is incredible. We're just not giving.
We're not doing that anymore.
We're not doing that anymore, and especially here in Arizona. So, according to statistics, Arizona, the average teacher salary in Arizona ranks 32nd in the nation. 80% of teachers say they are likely to spend their entire careers in the classroom, but only 14% of them would recommend the job to other people. In January of 2023, Ryan, there were more than 7,500 teaching positions vacant in Arizona.
I believe it.
And fast forward a year, 82% of those are still vacant. What happens? Well, that means we are putting unqualified people teaching your kids or jamming kids into the classroom. So,
and to me, it's not even a motivation of money. It's they're not even allowing them to, pay rent or keep the lights on. Like that's how little they get paid. And it's usually not just needing a 2-income household. They need 3 or 4 in order to really keep the lights on. And so, that's where the disconnect really gets to be, because once you have enough to get what you need, then you're willing to do it for less money if you absolutely love your job.
Right. So we have found in what we do, you and I work with, and we have coached and we have trained tens of thousands of real estate agents, and we see a lot of people transition from a W-2 job into a real estate career. I have found that there are certain jobs out there that transition a lot easier, and one of them being teachers. We find that when teachers leave the teaching, when they leave the classroom, they obtain a real estate license and they start selling real estate. They tend to do well. They've got work ethic, they've got discipline, they know how to put plans together. They put lesson plans together, so they put together a business plan. They got great communication skills. They have a lot of the DNA that makes a great real estate professional. But unfortunately, a lot of them who make that transition, Ryan, are doing so because they're just flat out not getting paid enough being a teacher, and they would love to find a way. I want to continue to do my passion, but I also want to figure out, how do I really make extra income? And I'm telling every teacher, any would-be teacher, anyone that knows a teacher, get your real estate license. And I'm not telling you to quit your teaching job. I am telling you to get your real estate license. Have a vehicle in which you can legally make money.
I think that the people that are best in this industry are teachers.
I agree.
I mean, we're constantly learning and educating our clients on what trends are, the building blocks of a great real estate portfolio, understanding the market, understanding money, understanding rates, understanding all these different things. And one thing that I've learned from teachers is that the better the teacher, the better the learner. So they're constantly reading. They're staying updated on current events. They're staying updated on all these different things, so that when they're in their classroom, they can speak more intelligently because they know that they're forging, our future of children and business and everything that goes into it, because that's what these kids are, right? And so they make fantastic real estate agents because of that. And but a lot of them don't want to go into the field per se because
they don't want to. They want to go show homes. They don't want to write contracts.
Yeah, and let's be honest. It is a different breed of people out there that kind of like that like the industry, kind of like the movement of it, the never ending phone calls and the never ending just grind. And when you're a teacher. Now, I know that they still do plenty of grading papers and preparing stuff after they clock out, but, they can clock in and they can clock out, and they can say, you know what, I'm not answering my phone after whatever o'clock, where we don't really get to do that. And so that I can see how there would be a lot of things that keep them away from getting into the industry. So to your point, you're in front of all these different people. You're in front of all these parents. You're in front of staff, administration, and just a massive network. Go get your real estate license. We'll teach you how to connect with those people. We'll teach you how to go get referrals, and then we'll pay you.
We'll pay you. If you're a teacher, would-be teacher, know someone that is a teacher, text the word TEACH to 623-AZ-RECON. That's TEACH to 623-AZ-RECON. Here's how it works in the state of Arizona. If I help you as a home buyer buy a home, or I help you as a seller, or you send me a friend, I legally cannot give you a referral fee. And that would be a portion from that commission that we would earn. And I've had a ton of people over the years, Ryan, ask me, well, how much are you going to kick back? How much are you going to kick back? I will never put my license on the line. I will walk from you. If you ask another agent that question, know that you're putting their license in jeopardy if they give you a so-called kickback.
Oh, we'll take it one step further. The moment you accept one dime of referral money, you too can get in trouble. Now, whether or not they're going to throw you in jail, I doubt that that's going to be the case. But I mean, if it becomes flagrant, then you're just as much at risk as the person that's paying you.
So Ryan and I, we do this with a lot of people, and from a lot of different industries. That people that know how to connect with people who know how to have limited real estate conversations with people, know how to get people excited about transacting in real estate, but they're good at that. It's a natural thing for them, but they don't want to go show homes. They don't want to write contracts and so forth. So we encourage them, go get your real estate license. Because once you have your real estate license, I now legally can give you that referral fee. And I think, to your point, Ryan, teachers would be great candidates for it. You're in front of people. You're great in front of people. You're talking to parents all the time. You're going to events all the time. You got family and friends. And everybody's talking about real estate anyways. Everybody's talking about real estate. Now, you can have a real estate conversation and send your friend to, well, preferably us, and we will help them invest in real estate, help them take that next step, whether they're first-time home buyers, savvy investors, whatever the case is. And when that deal closes, you can legally now get a referral fee. And we're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars in some cases per transaction. Now, all of a sudden, your annual salary goes up, and you still get to do what you love to do.
Not doing anything extra. Right, you already have your PTA meetings and your one-on-ones, or what are the parent-teacher conferences. Now, obviously, I think it might be tasteless if you were to walk in there and say, "Hey, I know we were supposed to talk about your child today, but
and you got your realtor pin on."
Actually, we're going to talk about home ownership. I think that would
be that is not what we're talking about.
That's not what we're saying. But there are
good on you if you do.
I mean, if that's you, then hey, I'm not going to tell you how to wear it. But you're already if you have a relationship with somebody, that's where these things always start, right? Because I mean, it's with any industry. If there's somebody that likes and trusts you, they're gonna listen to who you refer out, right? And especially if you're someone that's in a position of influence or in a position, I guess of authority, then they're going to say, you know what, this person has done their homework on these things. Let's make the phone call. Let's give it a shot. And so, that's just part of it, right? But the real cool part is that you kind of get to be involved and not only helping families, get homes, but you get to kind of watch your kids kind of go through all those fun changes. And so it aside from the money, it is rewarding in multiple ways.
All right. So the temptation is, I'm going to talk good about us for a second.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Mike, I've got, I've got lots of friends that are real estate agents. I'm just going to send the referrals over to them. Okay, great. That works. However, first of all, you need to learn how to have these conversations. And then you need to know and you need to learn how to hand off that conversation in a way that has a high probability of converting to money. And most agents I shouldn't say most agents.
I think that there's just lack of transparency.
But you better be confident that friend of yours that's an agent can convert and can close and can have systems. They have systems behind it, because if they don't, that's thousands of dollars now you're leaving on the table. And where I'm going to talk great about is we have all of those systems, and our team knows how to convert these. And so we call it our ambassador program, and we have several people in our ambassador program, and they know the minute that they make the handoff, it's payday.
Sure. And I think that people are afraid of having those conversations, and that's why that confidence issue comes into play. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why should you be ashamed of making money off of something like this? Yeah, I mean, particularly teachers. I mean, you're digging into your own pocket. After you're getting paid dog shit, you're digging into your own pocket to provide
extras for the classroom.
Yeah, pens, pencils, paper, just all kinds of different educational supplies. And why should you feel bad about having those conversations, because you're just going to turn around and reinvest not only into your future, but into their kids' futures as well. So I see most people floundering and fumbling because they're afraid of just coming right out and saying it, that, hey, I'm going to be financially rewarded when you go and you invest with these guys that either we heard them on the podcast or we know them through friends or however we end up knowing each other, right? Like it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Here's the other thing that we didn't talk about. The greatest thing that we can provide a teacher that texts the word teach to 623AZ Recon, we're going to teach you how to use your license and how to use this extra money to invest in real estate yourself and start building a real estate portfolio. I know a lot of teachers early on, they started buying homes and they get to teach today, not because they have to. They get to teach today because they love to, but because they've got an extensive real estate portfolio. To me, that would be the greatest excitement and joy for me if a teacher texts into the show.
Have I ever told you this story about Christine when she first started teaching? Christine's my wife. So she, in her school district, and I think most or if not all of them, when you are a first-year teacher, they couple you up with a veteran, and they're essentially your mentor for that first year to kind of get your feet wet, understand where everything is, and just kind of getting you warmed up, right? So her mentor, fantastic woman, she, after that first year of her teaching, she retired after that 1 year. And it was a bummer because they had, created a relationship, and she was a wonderful lady. And so went to her retirement party. And it was just this beautiful home in Northwest. It was like in the Peoria area. And it was like on an acre, just, a 5,000 square foot gorgeous home. And we walk in there and I'm like, Christine, what's the deal here? She said, I don't really
know.
I don't really know what's going on. And I said, there's no way that they have all this off of a teacher's salary. Oh, well, her husband's a cop. And I'm like,
well, that's not
cops,
too much better.
Cops, they do better, but I've seen plenty of, homes that, are owned, two-income households, et cetera. They don't look like this. This is a $1.5 million home. And not a lot of homes were 1.5 back in, the early 2000s. This is before the 2005, huge climb. And so she's like, I don't know, but I'll talk to her. So she's like, hey, if you don't mind me getting too personal, what's the deal here? Like, you have this fantastic home and, like all these things going on over here. And she's like, oh, that's simple. Real estate.
Yep.
And I was like, go figure.
All right. Well, if you are a teacher thinking about becoming a teacher, know somebody that's a teacher, we'd love to have that conversation with you. All you got to do is text the word teach to 623AZ Recon. That's teach to 623AZ Recon.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate 401k show. If you want more information on how to build wealth, click on the link or text us at 623-297-3266. That's 623AZ Recon.